Welcome to Science Store online classes.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Welcome to chemistry online classes. Today we are going to discuss about hydrocarbons, neat topic. Okay. This one mainly we are going to discuss about reduction of organic compound containing oxygen. Reduction of organic compound containing oxygen. My dear students, you know that aldehyde contains oxygen and alcohols contains oxygen and all other what we call ketone contains oxygen and carboxylic acid contains oxygen, ester contain oxygen. This all undergo reduction. Understood? See, reduction of alcohol, carboxylic acid. I will use short form to write this one, otherwise it takes time. Ketone, ketone, aldehyde, ester get reduced by a very important compound is used, red phosphorus in the presence of hydrogen iodide. See my dear students, red phosphorus in the presence of hydrogen iodide is used for reduction of oxygen containing compound. My dear students, I will give you one example. This is what is this? Acid, any acid. Understood? Acid reacts with the red phosphorus in the presence of hydrogen iodide heat. It gives, my dear students, note down, it gives alkane. Alkane means RCH3 plus water. Note down, please. So, you just remember this one, my dear students. No need to remember this equation, everything. Just remember, for the reduction of organic compound containing oxygen, we need red phosphorus with the hydrogen iodide. One more compound is given, my dear students, zinc, mercury. This is actually zinc and mercury amalgam. Understood? Plus concentrated HCl. This is also used to convert ketone and aldehyde into alkane. My dear students, note down, this is used, red phosphorus and hydrogen iodide is used to convert oxygen containing compound. Also zinc mercury plus concentrated HCl amalgam. Okay, this is also used to convert ketone into alkane. Understood? Ketone into alkane. And one more compound is given, diamine, NH2 in the presence of OH minus. This is also used, my dear students. So I will write like this, NH2. This is also used to convert what? Ketone to any. For example, I will write, my dear students, otherwise you will get confused. This is actually any ketone. Just you take any ketone and reduction takes place. Reduction means adding hydrogen. From where you are adding hydrogen? In the presence of zinc, mercury, HC, concentrated HCl, it gives, my dear students, RCH2R. plus water plus water plus water, no doubt. So this reaction is called Clemmensen reduction. Clemmensen reduction. You are adding hydrogen to ketone. Ketone, RCOR means ketone. You are adding hydrogen to ketone and it will get reduced, and this reaction is called Clemmensen reduction. Clemmensen reduction. Clemmensen, Clemmensen. My dear students, first and second one, the same you are taken ketone, you are adding 4 hydrogen atom, but in the presence of, here the reagent is taken NH2 OH minus, gives actually, my dear students, in the presence of this particular reagent, it gives actually, so it gives actually the same compound you will get, but reagent only changes. The reaction is called Wolff-Kishner reduction. Wolff-Kishner reduction. Remember, my dear students, the reaction in the presence of Wolff-Kishner, it is NH2 OH minus, and this one is zinc mercury concentrated HCl. Okay, my dear students, note down zinc mercury, it is amalgam, understood, but this is hydrazine. Okay, hydrazine. Remember, wherever you are using NH2, it is nothing but hydrazine. If you are using, that reduction is called Wolff-Kishner reduction. Note down, my dear students, if the reagent you are using hydrazine, that I will write here, my dear students, otherwise you will get confused. Hydrazine is nothing but NH2. Hydrazine in the presence of OH minus, it is called hydrazine. Then that reduction is called Wolff-Kishner reduction. Why I am telling again and again means, in the exam they may give the same one, but only the reagent may changes. At that time you will get confused. Which one this reduction? Name this reaction. They used to give like this. This reactant, this reagent will be used, and name this reaction. Name this reaction means you are thinking which reaction it is. Very simple. This is hydrazine, Wolff-Kishner reduction, zinc mercury plus concentrated HCl. It is Clemmensen reduction, and red phosphorus with the hydrogen iodide is normal reduction. Okay. Note down, my dear students, these are all points. It's very important. So by seeing this reagent, that's what I am stressing this point actually. By seeing the reagent, you should find out whether this Clemmensen reduction, Wolff-Kishner reduction, or whichever the reduction. We are doing same thing. We are adding H to this particular. We are adding H. It is nothing but reduction. But in all cases, you should concentrate on this particular, based on this. Okay, which reagent is used? That's what I told you. Just by heart. If it is Wolff-Kishner reduction, which one? Okay, this is actually hydrazine is used. Otherwise, Clemmensen reduction. Okay, zinc mercury plus HCl, it is used. So this is very important. You are not what we call, otherwise in question and answer you will get confused. Okay, note down this point. This is very important. Next, my dear students, by decarboxylation, we are preparing alkane by decarboxylation. My dear students, what do you mean by decarboxylation? That is important. Decarboxylation means removing carbon dioxide. Removing. No doubt. Okay. Decarboxylation of carboxylic acid. Okay. You know that carboxylic acid formula is this one, correct? Acid, carboxylic acid means you can write like this. This is as okay. You write like this, RCO. Okay, any carboxylic acid is taken. So imagine this is actually acid group. In this acid group, H is removed, my dear students. H is replaced by sodium. Then it gives sodium salt of carboxylic acid. It is called sodium salt of carboxylic acid because here H is replaced by sodium. So it is called sodium salt of carboxylic acid. So we are removing carbon dioxide from this one. Carbon dioxide you have to remove. How to remove carbon dioxide? That is important. See, you treat with the soda lime. What is soda lime, my dear students? Sodium hydroxide plus calcium oxide together it is called soda lime. So, soda lime. It is called soda lime. So, soda lime absorb this carbon dioxide and it forms, my dear students, sodium carbonate plus that very important one is calcium oxide. Another one is, my dear students, RH. We prepared hydrocarbon is nothing but alkane, correct? So this carbon dioxide absorbed by this sodium hydroxide, understood? Soda lime. So what is the use of calcium oxide along with the sodium hydroxide? Calcium oxide increases the porous place in it, and that means it gives more porous place. Porous place means surface of calcium oxide gives more porous andre holes. That means here many porous is there, means imagine this is surface calcium oxide is taken. So it gives more surface area for reaction. More is the porous, more is the surface area for the reaction. So more easily carbon dioxide get absorbed into it. More easily carbon dioxide get absorbed into it. So the reaction becomes so faster and it gives sodium carbonate, calcium oxide and hydrocarbon. So my dear students, remember during decarboxylation we are using soda lime, NaOH plus calcium oxide. We removed carbon dioxide, that carbon dioxide absorbed by porous place of calcium oxide, understood? So calcium oxide gives more places for the reaction, understood? So it gives actually this particular alkane. Okay, my dear students, next boiling point and melting point, comma density increases with the increase in molecular mass of alkanes. No doubt, my dear students. Okay, molecular mass of alkanes increases, boiling point, melting point density also increases. Isomeric alkanes, comma branched alkanes. You know that isomeric alkane, iso and branched, that and all explained in this particular hydrocarbons chapter at the beginning only. You just go through that video. Isomeric, branched, possess less surface area, hence its boiling point and density is less than unbranched alkanes. Unbranched alkane means straight chain alkanes. Compared to straight chain alkanes, these straight chain alkanes are more boiling point, more density. Understood? No doubt. Straight chain alkanes more boiling point, more density. Unbranched alkanes are, unbranched means straight chain. Okay, no doubt. Next, combustion of alkanes, my dear students. Combustion of alkanes. Alkane undergo combustion in the presence of oxygen. It gives carbon dioxide and water. No doubt, my dear students. carbon dioxide and water. Okay, my dear students, next we are going to discuss about halogenation. Halogenation means adding halogen. Adding halogen. This halogenation process takes place in the presence of sunlight, HNU. Okay. So what we are doing? We have taken alkane, reacts with the hydrogen halide. X means halogen. X means Cl, F, I, like that. Br. Understood? So this X is added to this particular. Understood? How we are getting product in the presence of HNU? HNU means sunlight. You are getting Rx plus Hi. Haloalkanes. This is haloalkanes. My dear students, each time I can't explain the same thing. Haloalkanes, haloalkanes. What is haloalkanes? Means halogen with the alkane. R means alkane. Any alkyl group. Understood? So this is alkane. RH. That means CH3H. CH4 it may be. Understood? Like that. So one example I will give you. This one. Methane reacts with the chlorine in the presence of sunlight. It gives, see, this reaction takes place in CCl4. Free radical mechanism. It is called free radical mechanism. At the beginning you are getting the product, again you are treating again. That mechanism is there actually. You are getting CCl4 at the end. My dear students, is the reaction actually free radical mechanism. Free radical mechanism means, for example, in free radical mechanism, actually this is not important for you, this chapter, this part, but you just go through this. Chain initiation, chain termination, chain propagation and chain termination. These three steps are involved in a free radical mechanism. Initiation means you are just starting that key and you are kick like this. Otherwise self start is there, means you start. That is initiation. Then you are just moving, it is propagation. Then you are stopped that particular vehicle, then it is called termination. So the same thing will happen here actually. Chain initiation, chain termination, chain propagation. These all things happens here. Understood? How this actually at the end you are getting CCl4. This reaction free radical mechanism. You know that it is there in first PUC, my dear students, but it is important how this reaction takes place. This will combine with this part, one of the, see, for example I will tell you, CH4 is there, that I will write CH3, H. So it reacts with the chlorine. One of the chlorine combines here, this will go like this will go like this, and this will go and combine with this particular, and it gives, this gives actually, my dear, in the presence of HNU. This is actually free radical mechanism is shown. See, homolytic and heterolytic cleavage is there. The single electron is moving, homolytic cleavage, see, heterolytic cleavage, see. See here 2 electron is there, my dear students, note down here 2 electron is there. 1 electron will move to, that is what I am showing. See here 1 electron, another electron, that I am showing like this, means one headed arrow, that means single electron movement. 1 electron move towards H, 1 electron move towards C, 1 electron move towards this Cl, another electron move towards this Cl, and here you are getting like this. For example, it looks like this, CH3, here 1 electron and H1 electron, here Cl 1 electron, another Cl 1 electron. It looks like this. So this Cl electron and this Cl electron combine each other, and this electron and this electron combine each other. So you are getting CH3Cl, correct? No, CH3Cl plus HCl. Each time the reaction is taking place like this only. See, my dear students, each time I can't write again and again. It shows actually, see, my dear students, here 1 electron moves here, 1 electron moves here, 1 electron moves here, 1 electron moves here, and this will combine with one of this one, this electron combine with one of this one. Correct? So single electron is called a free radical. In this carbon it gets one electron, in this hydrogen it gets one electron by breaking this bond. This bond breaking, it gives, this chloride gets one electron, this chloride gets one electron. Single electron on this particular chloride is represented by like this. It is nothing but a free radical. Free radical. Understood? So this free radical will combine with this free radical, and this free radical, this H contained free radical combine with the Cl contained free radical, and it forms bond. Two single electron combines, it forms bond. So it is nothing but a HCl, like this bond. So this is one of the free electrons, this is, together it is HCl. Understood? Like that here methyl chloride CH3Cl it forms. Understood? Why explain means each time I can't write this reaction, just you note down my dear students that I will write like this, CH3 and one H I will write here, Cl, and here one headed arrow means free radical forms in the presence of H nu. It gives CH3 Cl plus HCl. Again this CH3Cl is taken. Understood? Here CH3 I will write like this, CH2 one of the H I will write like this. So this one of the H will be removed like that only. The same procedure, CH2Cl is there. Total this is CH3Cl. But again this reaction takes place. Again chlorine is taken. Understood? That reaction is taking place. And this one of the chloride will combine with one of the H, and one of the Cl will combine with the here free radical electron. And here, my dear students, each time writing these things is very, what we call, boring. Understood? Why means you people are expecting lectures should write everything. You should think about it. The same mechanism will happen here. Understood? But here CH2, H, here one Cl is there. Correct? No, this is CH3Cl. This is CH3Cl. Correct? CH2 means here one more H is there, CH3Cl. Why I am writing like this means for showing. This will come here, and here this will go like this, and here one free electron, here one free electron, here one free electron, here one. This free electron will combine with one of the Cl, this free electron one HCl. So again it you are getting my result, CH3Cl chlorine, it gives a CH2Cl2 HCl. Again it undergo reaction, CH2Cl2 undergo reaction with the chlorine, and again free radical mechanism you are getting, my dear students, CHCl3 HCl. Again undergoing reaction, it gives CHCl3, again undergoing free radical mechanism, it gives CCl4. That means you got CCl4. Correct? No, this one, CCl4, carbon tetrachloride. This whole reaction takes place through chain initiation, chain termination, chain propagation. Understood? Note down, my dear students. Free radical forms. Okay. Shall I rub this? The order of reactivity towards halogen means how that haloalkanes means alkane react towards halogen. Fluorine highest reaction, then chlorine, then bromine, then last iodine. That means alkane reacts in faster way with the fluorine, next chlorine, then bromine, then iodine. The reaction with the fluorine is violent. Violent means explosive reaction takes place because it involves carbon-carbon free radical formation. Carbon-carbon bond cleavage is involved. Carbon-carbon bond cleavage involves. This is actually note, my dear students. Note means not 200 rupees note. Note means your knowledge. This alkane react towards halogen during halogenation. We are discussing about halogenation process. During halogenation, halogenation means adding halogen. Correct? No. Fluorine reacts with the alkane more violently and compared to chlorine, compared to bromine, compared to iodine. Iodination is reversible. Iodination reaction is means adding iodine to alkane is reversible one. That reaction is reversible one, and hydrogen iodide formed in the reaction, hydrogen iodide formed in the reaction act as a reductant, understood, reductant. So this reaction is carried out in the presence of oxidant means oxidant, mercuric oxide, understood, iodic acid oxide, hydrogen nitric oxide, understood. These are iodic acid and nitric acid. See, this is just a note for you. Alkane reacts with the halogen. Faster reaction takes place with the fluorine, next chlorine, then bromine, then iodine. Okay, that part is clear. Next, reaction with the iodine, it is the reversible reaction because it forms hydrogen iodide forms, it acts as a reductant, understood, and in the presence of oxidant that reaction takes place, mercuric oxide, or for iodination you required mercuric oxide or hydroiodic acid or HNO3, nitric oxide. In the presence of this acid only iodination is possible. Iodination means adding iodine to alkane. Okay. In this one, my dear student, tertiary alkane more reactive than secondary alkane than primary alkane. Tertiary alkane more reactive than secondary alkane than primary alkane. Tertiary alkane more reactive. Tertiary means what? This is like this, tertiary, understood. Okay. Tertiary, secondary, like that. Alkyl group is attached to 3 different alkyl groups, 3 different carbon. The central carbon is attached to, hydrogen attached carbon is attached to 3 different carbon. It is nothing but so here I will write here CH3, 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 CH. Dear students, welcome to chemistry online classes. Today we are going to discuss about neat topic. Neat. Okay, neat hydrocarbons. Okay. So we were discussing about alkanes in that particular, and okay, in that one very important thing is next we are going to discuss about the sulfonation of alkanes, not sulfonation, nitration of alkanes. Nitration of alkanes. Nitration means adding nitro compound. How it is possible? By treating with the nitric acid, correct? No, if alkane contains more than 5 carbon, if alkane contain more than 5 carbon, then liquid phase nitration, then it is called liquid phase nitration. Liquid phase nitration. Okay, my dear students, note down. Okay, how this nitration is carried? For example, my dear students, I will give you one example, 1 minute. Okay, in this particular you are giving, okay, C6H14. That means here more than 5 carbon is there, more than 5 carbon, alkane, understood? Okay, C6H14 treated with the HNO3, nitric acid. My dear students, it gives actually C6H13NO2 plus H2O, understood? This is a product formed. Suppose the alkane contains less than 5 carbon, less than 5 carbon, less than 5 carbon, that is called vapor phase nitration. Vapor phase nitration. Vapor phase nitration. Note down, my dear students, less than 5 carbon, then it is called vapor phase nitration. So C2H6, this is nothing but HNO3. I wrote like this, HONO2. It is nothing but HNO3. It gives, my dear students, actually C2H5NO2. Understood? This is the product. Please note down this two different nitration procedure. One is more than 5 carbon, less than 5 carbon. Okay, my dear students, next we are going to study about alkane sulfonation. Sulfonation means adding sulfonic compound. For example, H2SO4 is there. Actually, we are adding H plus SO3H. This is actually sulfonic compound. Understood? This is this particular. This is actually we are adding to this particular. SO3H is sulfonic. Understood? So this sulfonic hydride we are hydrogen we are adding to this particular sulfonation, adding SO3H. Understood? Nitration, adding NO2. Okay. This you remember, my dear students. Normally sulfonation takes place normally sulfonation takes place, alkane contain more than 6 carbon atom, but in less than 6 carbon atom is possible, but here one condition is applied, my dear student. Okay, for example, tertiary hydrogen atom, tertiary hydrogen atom means I will give you one example. This is called tertiary butyl compound, because the hydrogen attached carbon is attached to 3 different carbon, so this carbon is called tertiary carbon. So hydrogen is called tertiary hydrogen because the hydrogen attached carbon is attached to 3 different carbon. So this is actually tertiary butyl compound. Okay, this is actually you can call isobutane or tertiary butane. Okay, isobutane. My dear students, this isobutane can undergo sulfonation because it contains how many carbon? 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon only, less than 6 carbon. Normally 6 carbon, more than 6 carbon, hexane and more than 6 carbon means hexane. More than 6 carbon is there means it undergo sulfonation. My dear students, note down this point. Even 4 carbon tertiary butane, that means isobutane, this also undergo sulfonation in the presence of oleum. Oleum means, my dear students, how much? H4S2O8 oleum. My dear students, note down H4S2O8 is called oleum. In the presence of oleum is also called fuming gas, fuming sulfuric acid. It is called fuming sulfuric acid. Note down, my dear students, this point is very important. So this, if it contains 4 carbon, it will undergo sulfonation in the presence of oleum. So it is a special case, my dear students. That's what I am writing here. Please note down this particular. Understood? Because even though if it contains 4 carbon, it will undergo sulfonation in the presence of oleum, and it gives, my dear students, what it gives actually? It gives This I will write like this, my dear students. CH3 like this. CH3. Okay. C, and here SO3 H. This is get added in from oleum, SO3 gets added. Understood? So this is actually this called tertiary butyl sulfonic acid. Tertiary butyl sulfonic acid. Note down, my dear students. Sulfonation. Special case. My dear student, next is isomerization of alkane. Isomerization. Isomerization in general it is called rearrangement. Okay, rearrangement, or it is called 1,2-hydride shift. 1,2-hydride shift, or it is called methyl shift. 1,2-methyl shift. Okay, it's very simple, my dear students. For example, CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3 is there means. In the presence of aluminum chloride, my dear students, in the presence of aluminum chloride, this reaction takes place. Is very important. Okay, so it gives, my dear students, CH3, CH, CH3, and this is CH3. This shifting of this group to this particular 1,2-methyl shift actually. So it is, this is the product. This is isomerized compound. Understood? In the presence of aluminum chloride, this reaction takes place. No doubt. My dear student, the same isomerization explained in another bond line structure also. My dear students, don't get confused. In most of the case, in the most of the time, in hydrocarbons they used to give bond line structure. Bond line means, see, this is actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is this compound actually? This compound actually hexane, N-hexane. Here CH2, 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 here CH3, CH2, 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 CH3. Understood? So 6 carbon is there and hydrogen remaining. Counting that particular, and instead of you studied in first PUC organic chemistry chapter bond line structure. So this is N-hexane. So you can convert this N-hexane into different isomeric form by rearrangement in the presence of aluminum chloride and HCl. Okay, note down. HCl also required. Understood? So it gives, my dear students, just a rearrangement occurs actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more is like this, 6. This type of rearrangement is possible. 1, 2 methyl shift. Understood? Another one is another possibility 1, 2, 3, 4. So this type of possibility 5, 6. This type of possibility is there. Understood? Another one more compound is possible. 1, 2, 3, 4. This type of possibility is there. So don't get confused, my dear student. What is this one means? Here CH3 is there. Here CH3 is there. Here CH3 is there. Here CH3 is there. And here CH2 is there. Here CH2 is there. So these and all you are not writing, but actually it is there. This is called bond line structure. No doubt, my dear students. So this is just by rearrangement, 1 to methyl shift or 1 to hydride shift. It gives different types of rearrangement. One isomer can convert into another isomer form. It is called isomerization. That I explained. The same thing. It is in a bond line form. Bond line form. Okay, my dear students, next very important topic is aromatization. So alkane also undergo aromatization. So alkane get converted into aromatic compound. How it is possible? That is very important thing, my dear students. In the presence of aluminum oxide and chromium oxide. In the presence of aluminum oxide and chromium oxide. If it contains aluminum oxide and chromium oxide together. Okay. This is the reagent used for aromatization of alkane. Okay. Because we are converting alkyne to aromatic compound, that is different. We are converting here alkane to aromatic compound, benzene ring. How it is possible? In the presence of this particular, also selenium and platinum, selenium or platinum, if you use one of this selenium and platinum and heat, and it will get converted. For example, this aromatization takes place only alkane contains more than 6 carbon, 6 to 10 carbon. Hexane to decane. If alkane contains 6 carbon and more than 6 carbon, 10 carbon, till 10 carbon, this aromatization is possible. My dear student, these and all note, very very important, please note down. Okay. For example, 1 2 3 4 5 6, this is N-hexane, correct? Bond line structure, correct? So it will undergo aromatization in the presence of Al3. First it will form, my dear students, just cyclohexane. By treating with the Al3 Cr2O3, it forms cyclohexane. Understood? Next what happens, my dear students? Next is actually you are treating with the selenium and platinum and heat to 600 degrees Celsius. It will get converted into benzene. That is the same, I will write like this. This is just bond line structure, my dear students, don't get confused. CS3 CS2 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 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. This is actually N-hexane. The same thing I wrote here as a bond line structure, don't get confused. So you are converting means you are drawing like this, just you can write in one step only, that all together you can write in one step, selenium, platinum, and you are getting, here imagine CS3, you are writing 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 6 carbon, correct? So you are putting double bond here, alternate double bonds. This is actually, so here actually CS2 is there actually, CH, here CH is there, 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 CH is there. Same thing you are writing, understood, my dear students? So the first case, when we treat with this particular, with the aluminium Al2O3, what it gives actually. So to avoid confusion, once again I will write this particular, you know down. Sometimes you may feel that, okay sir, how can I remember, sir, this and all. So here hydrogen is removed, the same I am writing here, the same, okay. CS3, okay, CS2 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 CS3. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 carbon. Here you can see, my dear students, here CS3 is there, here CS3 is there. One of the H is removed, another one H is removed. So 2 H is removed and it forms cyclohexane. Later again aromatization takes place. Again aromatization takes place by removing hydrogen only. How many hydrogen again removed, my dear students? Here 2 hydrogen is removed, it gives, my dear students, like this. That means here H H H H H H H H H H H H H H. This is nothing but this compound. Here I removed 2 compound and it forms bond here and it gives this compound, cyclohexane. Again I remove by treating with the selenium and platinum and aluminum oxide and chromium oxide. These not 2. Here 1 hydrogen is removed. This bond breaks and it comes here. This bond breaks and it comes here. Like this, understood? So all this hydrogen removed. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 hydrogen is removed, understood? 1 2 3 4 5 6 hydrogen is removed and it gives, my dear students, The same thing I written in single step. Okay. So my dear students, this is the same I wrote here. How they are converting. These two hydrogen is removed and it will form aromatic compound by treating with the aluminum oxide and Cr2O3 in the presence of selenium and platinum. So this is the method. So method is not important every time, but you remember this bond line structure. Sometimes they used to give like this, convert into aromatic compound. Most of the times you will get confused by seeing this. Okay. Shall I rub this? Okay. My dear students, for aromatization, at the beginning N-hexane is used, in N-heptane is used, 7 carbon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 carbon. If you convert this one in the presence of aluminum oxide and chromium oxide, selenium, platinum, what it gives, my dear students? Aromatic compound. What? Which aromatic compound it gives? Toluene. Okay, toluene. Imagine if it is this is N-heptane, hexane is over, octane, N-octane you are using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. N-octane. You are converting into aromatic compound. Very simple, my dear students. You are writing benzene ring, extra carbons. See, 6 carbons is required for benzene ring. Correct? 6 carbon I wrote here. Understood? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbon. Remaining 2 carbon is there. That I can write like this. Or one more product is possible. I will get this product or another product also possible. So sometimes I may get like this also. It depends. Like this. So look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 carbon. So this type of product also possible. This type of product also possible. Okay. Look at this particular, my dear students. Here what is bond line means, here CH2 is there, here CH3 is there. Okay, here everywhere you should note down. Here CH3 is there, here CH3 is there. Okay. Here 7 carbon is there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7th one you are writing like that. My dear students, it's very simple. Why means you don't get confused much with this particular, because every time you are converting aromatization means it will form one benzene ring. Benzene ring you write first. After that remaining carbon you substitute. So here also 7th carbon I wrote here. Here also 7th, 8th carbon is like this. This like this also I can write, like this also I can write. Understood? 2 possibilities are there in this one. Okay, my dear students, next we are going to study about pyrolysis. So Greek word pyro means fire. Lysis means loosening. Understood? Fire loosening means benki loosening. Is it like that? No, not like that. Understood? Fire loosening means higher molecules, a longer chain of alkanes, heated. Longer chain of higher molecular mass of alkane is heated. Higher molecular mass of alkane is heated. It undergo cracking, cut agudu. Understood? Dividing. Understood? So higher long chain of alkane crack into smaller lower mass of alkane, etc. on pyrolysis it undergo cracking to a lower mass alkanes. Pyrolysis, fire. Higher molecular mass of alkane is heated. On pyrolysis it undergo cracking to lower mass of alkane. My dear students, in this one CH3, CH2, CH3, this is one alkane. So when you okay, in the presence of catalyst is very important. Silica and alumina catalyst, finely divided silica and alumina catalyst is used, my dear students, for cracking. See, this is very important in petroleum industries. Pyrolysis process takes place in petroleum industries. What they are doing actually, they are cracking long chain of hydrocarbons into smaller chain of hydrocarbons. Understood? That is nothing but a petroleum cracking. My dear students, please note down this particular, very important. This is important in petroleum industry. CH3, CH, double bond, CH. One alkene you got. This is propene. Understood? It gives one propene. Another one is ethene. So many product it gives. One long chain of alkene, higher mass of alkane, one higher mass of alkane undergo breaking. Breaking means cracking. Understood? During pyrolysis. Pyrolysis means you are applying fire and you are cutting. Understood? And it gives many products, smaller product. Understood? This one propene, alkene and methane, etc. Many product it gives, my dear students, etc. Okay? Don't think that only this much. If you are taken decane, these and all gives more products. Propene, pentene, like that it gives many product. Hexene. Okay, so you cannot, it's very difficult to predict the product. You don't ask with me, sir, which are the product will form. Cracking gives many products. Pyrolysis gives many product. But in this pyrolysis, this product is not important. You should know that. What is pyrolysis? Using fire, you are cracking long chain of hydrocarbons, means alkanes, into smaller chain of hydrocarbons. That is in the presence of silica and alumina catalyst. Only that much is important. Not these products. Products are not important for you. Okay. Okay, my dear students, now we are going to discuss about natural gases like gasoline. Gasoline means petrol. It contains C7 to C9 carbon. Understood? The quantity of petrol is determined by octane number, ON. Remember, my dear students, octane number. Octane number means mixture of isooctane plus N-heptane. Mixture of isooctane and N-heptane. Understood? This is actually octane number. In that, octane number of isooctane is 100 and N-heptane is 0, then it is good petrol. Understood? My dear students, quality determination, it is not there in your textbook, but you have to learn this particular. Quality of a petrol determined by the octane number and mixture of isooctane and N-heptane. It is used actually. In that, isooctane octane number is 100 and N-heptane is 0. Then it is good petrol. Automobile, petrol octane number is, in automobile using petrol, octane number is 80. Then it is good. You can use that petrol. In aeroplane, octane number is 100 or more. Then only you can use that petrol or gasoline for which one? Aeroplane. 100 and more. My dear students, and anti-knocking compound is anti-knock compound tetraethyl lead. Tetraethyl lead. It is also called TEL, and tetrabutyl methyl ether. Tetrabutyl methyl ether. This formula is written here. Tetraethyl methyl ether. Okay. What is anti-knocking compound? That is also important, my dear students. Knocking or detonation it is called. While combustion of fuel air inside the combustion chamber, combustion engine, automobile combustion engine, it produce cracking sound, heavy exploding sound, like that. To reduce this, and you have to maintain the temperature and pressure inside this particular by reducing this one knocking. To reduce the knocking means that sound produced while combustion of this particular fuel air, understood, inside engine. Okay, so to reduce this sound and produce the temperature and pressure inside this particular ignition temperature, it is called. So anti-knocking compounds are used. Anti-knocking compounds are mainly alcohol, tetraethyl lead and tertiary butyl methyl ether. Note down, my dear students. Why anti-knocking compounds are used? That means while combustion of fuel air inside the combustion chamber or engine, it produce cracking sound. To reduce this sound, cracking sound, and ignition should be produced at the time, understood, that all the fuel should be should ignited, understood. How? At the presence of anti-knocking compound. Anti-knocking compound helps to increase the temperature of combustion chamber, also it helps to increase the pressure of combustion chamber, also it helps to reduce the sound, cracking sound of fuel air. Okay, note down, this is apart from your textbook, you note down. And lower homologue of alkane, that means lower chain of alkane, higher octane number. Remember, lower chain of alkane, higher octane number. Homologue means number of carbon, 10 carbon, 1 carbon, 2 carbon, like lower number of carbon in alkane, higher octane.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.